What are you doing?
Fear of gods, man. They can't see him from the bottom.
Why put fear of God on the bottom of somebody's shoes? The only way they're going to see it is you stomping them out.
You can step on the devil.
There you go.
Boom. I am the fear of gods. I have the fear of gods. You call me friend.
Of the Lord.
Get your weekly dose of R&R, hey.
What up? This is your boy Doboy.
It's your boy Kev on stage.
And we are here for another installment of Started Up to the Right, Righteous and Ratchet. And this is our second show of the year. And things are going so good. And I have a sweater on. Says Lou do too. I just ruined it. Shout out my brother Lou do too much. If you like the sweater, go to his thing, get the merch. And a special shout out to the Right Pack, the Patreon.
Look at their camera.
Oh. They are watching us live right now. We shooting this on what, Tuesday?
And now they've been watching Dirk on stage live.
Okay.
They're watching Love
Hour.
They get watching Ratchet live.
Okay.
They're doing on Dean live.
And they get a bonus episode every week.
Is it?
And you can be a part of the fun for as low as $5 a month.
What you talking?
Visit righteousandratchet.com and you can join the fun because everyone's a little bit righteous and a little bit ratchet. We have a full docket going on today, but I gotta start with a curveball. Yeah. I owe somebody an apology.
Who?
Actually, I owe two people an apologies.
Your nutritionist?
Shut up.
Maya?
First person that I owe an apology to is the black community. I owe an apology to the black community for being ignorant. And I did not realize it until I watched Just Mercy.
What you talking?
I finally, because you know me, I'm a defensive person at times.
Yes.
And I always feel like if you're coming at me with the wrong
approach,
energy or intention, I'll just kind of shut it down.
Up and fight it up.
I'm like, well, you calling me ignorant? I ain't know things. So watching that movie, it just opened my eyes to injustices that are going on outside of my bubble. So at that moment, I could understand why when I say certain things, it upset
like white people can call you the N-word?
And triggers me. Yeah, like I can understand because, bro, the Just Mercy story didn't happen in the 40s or the 30s.
I knew I was tripping because I was unfamiliar with that story, and one of the prisoners had Jordans on.
Bro.
And I was like, hold up.
It's happened in the 80s. So so that's my apology to the black community first, that bro, I gotta do better. I gotta understand that I have a huge platform. I have young, black, impressionable people watching me.
Yep.
And I have a daughter of my own self. And I gotta
And you got dogs?
I got dogs now, I got puppies. I gotta do better. So you guys have spoken, and I will say, you know what? I seen the error in my ways. I'm gonna try to do better. So that's my first apology.
Okay.
Second apology to Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. acting.
Michael B. I have been critical of Michael B. Jordan.
What were your criticisms of him?
I was just like, he's like everybody. I was assuming that he was like the number one actor in the game, and everybody was stouting him as such. And I was just like, sometimes I just be like, meh. But in this performance, he delivered. How did you feel about the Just Mercy film? After I got my two things out the way, how do you feel about the film as a whole?
A lot of times lately in my life, I've been going into movies
empty?
No, just empty. What do you
like
mean?
no expectation?
No, not no expectation. No background. Okay. I never saw no trailer for Just Mercy.
Okay.
The last movie I saw with Melissa, I can't remember what it was.
Okay.
But we didn't see any trailer. We just went in there. So Just Mercy.
Queen and Slim. You didn't see no trailer for Queen and Slim.
Okay, that's what it was. Didn't see any trailer. I was like, black people, $12.50.
All right.
So I didn't know what it was about. I figured it's some legal thing, but I didn't know it was a true story at all. So I very much enjoyed it. Jamie Foxx is slept on.
Come on. Is he not?
Slept on.
It's like, I think he might be the greatest character actor of our generation.
Like to fulfill a role, you're saying?
Yes, like to play somebody. Like
Chadwick Bose.
I was going to say...
character-wise?
Chadwick Boseman has played every...
Over Jamie, Kevin, stop.
Is Chadwick there yet?
No.
T'Challa, the Black Panther.
That's not a
character?
person. It's a fictional character from a comic book.
Jackie Robinson.
Did you even like
Good? Loved it.
And no shade
I didn't
to
love all the
Chadwick.
movies, but I love Chadwick's performance and everything.
And you'll put that on the level of Jamie? that did Ray.
Character-wise?
Character-wise, like what he did with Ray, what he did with the dude he played in Ali, what he did in this.
Bundini Brown?
He's on a different level.
James Brown? And they both have a Brown.
Nah, man. I'm not mad at Chadwick, but I don't think he's in the same conversation as Jamie was putting on a... How many times you cried in the movie? I cried.
You better off starting the statement of time I didn't cry.
I cried several.
The opening credits came out like TriStar Films. I've been going through so much.
I definitely cried a lot, and I think movies like this, because normally I would criticize a film like this, much like I always criticize slave films, because I'm like, you know what I like about this movie that they didn't do that they normally do in movies like this?
The snack bar that they bought the stuff from. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. We don't know how to talk about movies if you ain't seen it.
Yeah.
Just see it before we come and talk about it.
Watch the movie. But whatchamacallit? I'm glad they didn't have like a white savior. There was like no white person to come in there and just save the day like, oh, I'll fix everything.
Yeah, no, they definitely
I didn't like it. I like the fact that
they had the one guard who had a change of heart who was like, spread him. And later he's like, you gonna say hi to him?
Bro,
but he wasn't the like
right. He wasn't like the
Captain Marvel was in there, but she really was white in the movie. I was like, oh.
This is the thing I don't understand. How do people legitimately put other people in prison for things that they know they didn't do and sleep at night?
Fine.
How?
They sleep just fine.
Like,
because they don't care.
Bruh.
You don't see that person as human. You don't see them as the same as you. They really like straight up framed that man.
Bruh, it didn't even make any sense.
The sheriff, and first of all, that is very common in black people. There's a Curtis Flowers case. He just got released from prison a week or 2 weeks ago. Almost exact case what happened. One eyewitness, white guy, said he did it. But the part of the movie where he was like, I got voted on to make sure the people in my community feel safe. And Michael B. Jordan was like, which people are those? And the guy was like, well, the white ones, like, obviously. But the police chief straight framing you and recording it and nothing even happened to him. So my boy Bishop's a white dude. He said he didn't like his movie because nothing ever happens to the white people.
Nothing ever does happen. It's just like, okay, you can go.
That's the most realistic part of the story. Because nothing happened. That dude who was the sheriff, he just retired right before the movie came out. He was like, well.
Same thing with the lady for the
When They See
Central
Us.
Park 5, yeah.
She had written books about that, all that, and people were just like, all right, well, it's been a good run.
But I guess the question, because this is what I took away from this, and this might be a shocker to you. Because I always try to insert myself in situations like, okay, clearly there is a problem.
You fit?
Shut up. I feel like there's definitely race relations in America going awry, right? I want to do my part to help, right? I don't want to be an ignorant coon my whole life. So guess what I really am going to try to do starting now. I've actually started a couple days ago, but it's been harder than I thought. I'm going to try to stop saying the N-word. I think it should stop. I think the N-word should stop.
Completely
and I think
flipped.
I'm telling
that's what you took away from Just Mercy.
I should stop because I try to find out what can I do to make change. I can't write a speech and say it to Congress, but I can stop saying the N-word because I feel like it perpetuates a negative stereotype and it makes you sound ignorant. Would you agree that saying the N-word makes you sound ignorant?
No, I say it all the time.
Do you don't think that it makes you sound ignorant?
Not at all.
I think that
You've
when
been
other
saying
people,
that for 40
I
good
know,
years.
and
you see
people
Just Mercy, and I was ignorant the whole time.
I just feel like I want to do something to at least reduce my ignorance.
I commend you. I don't know how stopping. You know what ignorance means?
Yes.
So how does stopping?
Kinda.
Ignorance is always used as a pejorative term. All it means is you don't know. Okay. Ignorance doesn't even have to mean like negative. We're ignorant of a lot of things. Ignorant of your feelings. Ignorant of what a doctor should know. Like you're ignorant of a lot of things.
But let me tell you,
to fight ignorance, you don't fight ignorance with replacing words, saying or not saying. You fight ignorance with knowledge.
Okay.
So reading books and watching educated people speak, doing your study on history, that's what fights ignorance. Saying nigga or not nigga, you could be completely ignorant or well respected and say nigga or not nigga.
But I just feel like it's a word that there's really no positive connotation to it. I feel like there's a lot of hate associated with that word.
You just were cool with white people calling that.
And I now see the error of my ways. Like I'm saying, like you can't kill me with the same bullet twice. Like I realize I'm ignorant, so I'm like I don't want to be ignorant anymore. So I want to try to make that's just one step. Of course, I want to watch film. I want to read books. I want to figure this out because I'm just like, bro, people are sitting in jail. They sent one of those dudes to jail. I mean, it's not like I was about to laugh. They sent one of the dudes to jail because they said he looked like he did it.
That dude was in jail for like 30 years.
That is so insane to me.
He looked guilty.
So I'm like, bro, like these are real people that look like me and you. So it's just like if I don't have the quick flash in a bottle way to just fix all of this, I at least can start to fix myself. And I'm just like, bro, because you know what made me do that? You know, I box at Sports Training Los Angeles, right?
Yep.
And there's an older boxer there named Ronnie. He's always there. He's a real good dude. And he pulled me to the side one day. He was like, Doughboy, man, I just want to tell you, man, like, I love you, man. I think you funny, man, but sometimes you got to walk away when you be using that N-word. He's an older dude. He's from the South. And I was like, I didn't mean no offense. He was like, nah, I know it's how y'all talk, but when I hear that word, it's just painful to hear it. And it's an older black man that has dealt with experiences that I never dealt with. Yeah. So I'm just like, me just saying this casually to my friends, and it doesn't bother any of us, but there's somebody else that looks just like me that's affected by the word. So
right.
And I love films that's why I really like the film. I love films that I feel like I left different than when I went into it. So when I left, I was just like, bro, I got a whole 14-year-old daughter. Like, I just want to do better as a black man. And if that's my humble start, then that's what I'm gonna do with it.
I commend that.
But I just was like,
also read.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot. I feel like I learned a lot from reading. It gives you a lot of perspectives on slavery and black people and black culture. Like, I actually wrote a paper in college about how it's called the nadir. But the time after slavery was actually more dangerous for black people than during slavery.
Why is that?
Because at least, now it wasn't that it was safe during slavery, but at least when you were a slave, you were property. People needed to protect you to the point that they could use you.
Because you were of value.
You had value.
So
you were going to till my
just
land. It's in my best interest to feed you, house you. I have to treat you with respect, but I'm not necessarily going to make sure I harm you, right?
Right.
When slavery is over and now you are my direct competitor, you sharecropping or whatever. Right. Oh, and now I can hurt you. The laws aren't set up.
Nothing. So now that's where they start looking at somebody like they're not even a human.
There's no value. Lynching. I tell people all the time, like, that's why you never saw The Watchmen, right?
No, I think I need to watch that because everybody out, even so, like you, but everybody else, everybody's saying it's really, really good.
Perfect example. I was ignorant to the Black Wall Street in Tulsa. Just didn't know about it. Learned a lot about stuff in college. Never heard about. Ignorant about the Philadelphia bombing in like 1985. I think it's 1985. Don't quote me. City of Philadelphia bombed a black house. Like, dropped a bomb on them.
On a house, just on a regular house.
Yes, they were upset. I don't know the full story, but they literally dropped a bomb on them. Right?
That doesn't sound crazy to you. That sounds like stuff that happens in war with other countries.
Exactly. So, reading about that and learning about that, like, you see how that would be different. Like, I've Anyway, so when you read books and articles and you understand, like, the greatest power for you is knowledge and understanding and people's different vantage point and perspective. And if you don't spend that time, then you have no one. Like, the good thing about books and talking to people who are more educated than you is you have someone to challenge your perspective. If you don't have anyone to challenge your perspective, you're always the smartest person in the room. You never have no incentive to learn or have any value. So,
and speaking of value, I've been wanting to tell you about some things that are very, very valuable to me because I've been trying to get my own thing going. Skillshare. Now listen to this. Skillshare is an online learning community where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people on topics including illustration, design, photography, video, freelancing, and more. Skillshare offers classes designed for real life so you can move your creative journey forward without putting life on hold. You can learn and grow with short classes that fit your busy routine. Skillshare is also incredibly affordable, especially when compared to pricey in-person classes and workshops. An annual subscription is less than $10 a month. Kevin, I've been hopping on there just taking different classes, the different ones that I can, just because I want to get better in every single area of my life. And they got a bunch of skills that they want to share with me, and I'm going to let them share. You feel me? You feel me? Now listen to this. Skillshare is a proud sponsor of Righteous and Ratchet. Explore your creativity at Skillshare.com/RR and get 2 free months of premium membership. That's 2 whole months of unlimited access to thousands of classes for free. Get started and join today by heading to Skillshare.com/RR. That's Skillshare.com/RR. So yeah, so
have
just
you been on skilletshare.com where they have mostly recipes for stovetop skillets?
Side note, I'm really gonna take learning how to cook seriously this year. It's something that I'm really passionate about. I want to learn how to make a seared salmon first. And I want to come up with a good teriyaki sauce.
So
that's the first time I've ever heard
him
him pronounce salmon.
That's the okay. So I gotta grow up, man. I can't be ignorant forever, Josh. The way I pronounce things as well.
Why is seared salmon the thing that you want to go to?
I don't know, man. It's just like I just think that'd be impressive. Like if I invited you over for dinner, I'm like, Kev, come over for dinner. You're like, all right, I'm gonna pull up, and you came over. You're like, man, what's for dinner? I'm like, seared salmon. You be like, this guy
If
gets
you say
it.
salmon, I'm out of there.
Yeah, well, shut up, man.
You got to make up for your first barbecue.
Oh, back in the day.
Actually, you made up for it.
Yeah, because I beat
He definitely beat
Here
the
was
here.
ho-
Beat the brakes off to here.
Yeah, and he still ain't got over that either. It still hurts him in
That's
his
an
eyes.
There's a
open wound.
dartboard. There's a dartboard in his house with your face on it, holding them ribs, and he throws it.
Side note, I don't want you to think it went unnoticed that the first time I finally beat Kevin in a Righteous and Ratchet adventure, the video is 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
No.
I was mad.
Josh edited that. First of all, there's
Why are we mad about that?
Man, make it an hour.
There's nothing.
We were there for
literally,
less than an hour.
We were there for less than an hour. We missed 89% of the Astros. Even with all the ones we made, I was like, whew, it's going to be long.
Because it's a really quick thing to throw an axe.
There's nothing much you could do.
I'm better than
But
you
you
at
won.
that. Hey, man.
You ain't better than me. You beat me that day.
So how do you feel about the movie Just Mercy as a whole? You know what I really feel I learned about Michael B. Jordan? I feel like he's doper in projects that I feel like, and I could be wrong, I never met the man, but I feel like projects that mean more to him, like on a social level, I feel like he kills those. Like, because I loved him in Fruitvale Station, and I loved him in this. Black Panther, I was just like, hey, auntie. I was just like, I just hated the hey, auntie line.
Why?
I don't know.
I feel like this is a prime example
You
of
always say that.
letting an actor grow though, and watching him like mature into whatever he wants to try and get into more of.
Yeah, and I think that this gonna.
Why did the hey auntie bother you though?
I don't know. But you know me, the whole Black Panther experience, I was just.
You didn't like that movie.
I just didn't like it as
You were
much as
too much
everybody.
There's no way Michael B. Jordan was a reason not to like.
No. There were other reasons.
What were your other reasons why you?
What, you didn't like Black
You
Panther?
didn't like you didn't side with the black community on this film.
No, it's just I just thought it was just. I thought it was cool. I didn't think it was a bad movie. I just thought.
Why didn't you like it?
Because like I compare it to the other superhero movies like Avengers and Iron Man, and and what was it, and Logan. It just didn't do it for me. I wasn't saying it was bad. It just everybody was just acting like, oh, this is the. I was just like, oh, I like it. I just don't know if I liked it as much as the other people. But I liked Michael B. Jordan in this. I was like, this is dope. I like.
He also didn't yell.
Yeah.
One
You
of
was waiting
Michael
for him to yell. the
No,
whole movie?
like I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they were like, if he would have screamed like that, like he did in Creed on that bridge, I would have walked out of the movie. Yeah, I think a lot of Michael B. Jordan's fantastic. Been a fan of him since he was Wallace in The Wire.
He's been acting his whole life.
Yeah, and he was like. Michael B. Jordan's weakness was when he yells, he loses believability, and that's what I think it is. Like the person was like, he looked like Adonis Creed in that movie in The Lawyer, and I was like, I disagree. Like, at the end of the day, you are who you are,
right?
You know what I mean? Like he's playing a lawyer that he's mild mannered, muted. Same thing Adonis Creed was when he wasn't in the ring. You know what I'm saying? It's just when you like. There's a lot of Denzel films where you could mix and match that character and you wouldn't know what film it was.
True.
Man on Fire and what's the other one that's just like Man on Fire?
Denzel's?
Yeah, with Eva Mendes. Deja Vu maybe?
Was it Deja Vu?
Might be.
Man on Fire. I think two of his movies.
The movies start looking very similar.
That's why when he does Training Day, it's like, oh.
Right. Oh,
You know what I
it's
mean?
a different
Yeah,
different gear.
his character in John Q and his character in Remember the Titans.
Same person.
Yeah, I mean, but he's also like that's not specific to Denzel.
Right.
Vince Vaughn made a career playing arguably the same character. The Rock literally wears the same outfit.
Yeah, Jason Bateman is the best straight man in the history.
Jason Bateman plays the same character whether he's in
serious-
Ozark or the Breakup.
And
Literally
same with Jason Statham.
Yeah, Jason's. I've never seen him do anything different.
I thought his name was Jason Statham in all the movies.
Yes. The Transporter and Fast and Furious is literally
He's
him
the exact
doing the
same
Fast and Furious
tone.
by himself versus with The Rock. You know what I'm saying? So
Side note, but speaking of Denzel Washington, did y'all see the preview of the movie with his son? With
man, Christopher Nolan.
the
is
Christopher
back.
Nolan movie?
Oh, that movie
Tell me that don't look
Is
crazy.
it called Tenet?
Yes.
It feels like
Man.
Inception again.
First of all, it
I'm
was like
all
a
in.
3-minute scene that they played as a preview.
Bruh.
And I felt like I was literally like gripping my I was like,
Bruh.
And he needs to make up for Dunkirk because that was
How you feel about Denzel's son? I feel like he's dope. I liked him
like
on
John David.
He's on
Black Klansman and Ballers.
I haven't seen Black Klansman. I should probably see that. All right, so moving right along. The Will and Martin interview. Bad Boys 3 is coming out. Inexplicably left out of the movie Gabrielle Union. Did you see them brush past that in the interview? He was like, why ain't Gabrielle Union in it? And Will Smith was just like, oh, man, stories, man. Hey, man. He just said something
They were
cool.
like,
he just
we
moved to the left. Like,
Let me tell you why I'm afraid for this movie.
Okay.
The release date. That movie's coming out January 24th.
I thought it was coming out this Friday.
This
It's
Thursday.
This Friday.
This Thursday.
Yeah, that's not the 24th.
Or whatever. It's in the month of
17th.
January.
You said that you don't like the date, but you said the wrong date. No.
January. That's the point.
Okay.
Movies in January are usually stinkers, especially action films.
Really?
You have no
1970. When did 1917 come out?
1970 is not it's a war film.
That's action.
That's
No,
action. It's a pretty heavy action movie.
War films are war films.
No, they're action.
No, not like that.
Just because you slap the table doesn't make it
Listen,
right.
I'm trying to make a point.
If you're getting shot
action like Fast and Furious, Transformers, those are traditionally summer movies.
Okay.
Remember when Bad Boys used to come out?
In July.
Yes, Will Smith's big action budget movies, summer movies.
Nah, that makes sense.
An action movie in January. War movies are heart and drama nominated for Oscars. That's why they're released in January. Just Mercy. This is Oscar season movie time. An action film that's released this early in the year or post October. Yeah, movies are released in seasons.
Right. Okay.
Genuinely, January to about mid-March is just like, man, we don't know. It might not.
And then they save the best ones for later?
It's more themed. They'll do action films. Big blockbusters are summer movies generally. That's why the big Avengers movies are in the summer. The
Kids
Captain
are out of
America,
school, everybody's on the go.
yeah,
Okay.
Captain America, Captain Marvel, the ones that Black Panther earlier in the year have a bigger chance of success. So,
Gotcha.
so March is even kind of early for an action film.
Wait.
January,
Why would Black Panther have a better chance if it's an action movie? Shouldn't they have put that out later?
because if you're unsure, like it's
Oh,
not
you
gonna,
just kind of test it out.
yes,
Okay, gotcha.
Not supposed to be as a big of a mega hit as the other one. So that makes me. Let's look it up. When were the last Bad Boys films? I bet you they weren't released in January.
It's too long between these movies is the problem.
Oh my god!
I'm like, bro,
That's like Mission
when did
Impossible
part
coming
2
back.
come out? I don't even remember.
2003, Part 2 came out,
And
Let me
part
see
1
what
came
it
out
is.
in 95?
Wow. I mean,
A 15-year trilogy?
Bad Boys 2.
Oh wait, my math
July
is off on that. It's a 25-year trilogy.
July 18th, 2003.
Nah.
Okay, Bad Boys 1.
95, I know that.
I know the year. I'm talking about.
Date.
Oh, this is Bad Boys for Life. I was like, Bad Boys 1 came out in January. 1995, Bad Boys came out on April 7th.
So they might not have been that sure about it then. Okay.
Not as sure.
But they knew about part 2. That's why they gave it the
Yes.
marquee.
And they don't know about Part 1. Part 3.
Bad
Bad Boys 3, Bad Boys 4 Live would have been perfect for Bad Boys 4. I don't know if they're going to make it. Now, here's a weird thing that I want to say. I love Will, love Martin. Does it feel like Will's doing all the promo, even though
I
Will
thought I
and Martin
was the
are
only
together?
person. I literally
No,
looked
for
at Tony
sure.
like, why isn't Martin talking?
Martin is.
Why would he say a thing?
None
Like-
of the clips.
And she told me, she was like, nah, I've been watching all of them. He said, no, he just don't be talking a lot.
He don't be.
No,
Like, I watched the Bad Boys
what's
thing.
up
Like,
with him?
What you talking? You know that, by the way.
Fat Martin don't be talking.
hilarious.
We got that from Big Mama's house. What you talking? Hattie Mae Pierce said that. I was just like, the Jimmy Fallon thing went viral. And the Breakfast Club interview, like 2 clips from there went viral.
It
The Sway's
felt-
Universe thing. And Martin be over there like,
Yeah, he was. If the interviews are any indicator of the on-screen chemistry they're going to have, I don't know if I want to watch this movie.
We
it
gotta
just
see it.
felt like what's wrong? Like, bro, you good?
Martin
And
is
then
really
did you see
muted.
when Charlamagne asked him about the bread?
oh.
And he kind of was like, man, what you doing to answer that question, man? He just did not answer. Man, it's crazy, man. I bungee jumped in the Grand Canyon. Did you make $10 million and he made $500,000? Like, and
But
it
that's
just.
the thing. There's no way they're going to. Will and Martin are a different level
What
of
was the
stars.
last movie Martin made? Death at a Funeral? 2010? What was it? No, what was the last movie he led?
I don't know. I'm literally looking it up because I
pulling it up.
cannot.
Because they were equal in 95. I don't know how equal.
Were they equal?
Fresh Prince and
Martin.
Martin?
I didn't know Martin signed on to Bad Boys first.
Did he?
Yeah, he said in the Breakfast Club interview. I thought you watched it.
I did watch it. I don't remember him saying that.
He said that he went after Will. All right, Martin's last movie was The Beach Bum. He was Captain Whack.
Then after that,
2011,
it was-
Big Mama's Like Father Like Son with Brandon T. Jackson.
Ooh.
He really hasn't been doing
know,
anything.
man.
Yes, that funeral was right after that. 2010, College Road Trip, Welcome Home Roscoe Jenkins,
Wild Hogs. Wild Hogs, guys.
Open Season, Big Mama's House 2, Rebound, and Bad Boys 2,
Rebound
2003.
was a stinker.
He had to rebound from Rebound.
Jeez.
Blue Streak?
Blue
Went to
Streak. 1999. Wow. Life 1999. Nothing to Lose 1996. See, but this string.
What was the last funny movie?
Okay,
Martin?
bro. Listen. Hold on. Listen to Martin's.
Okay.
This stretch.
What was his
1991 House Party 2.
Killed it.
1992 Boomerang.
Killed it.
1994 You So Crazy.
Killed it.
95 Bad Boys.
Killed it.
96 Thin Line.
Killed it.
97 Nothing to Lose, which I freaking love.
Killed
that movie.
it.
99 Life Claude Banks.
Killed it.
99 Blue String. And then
So
Big
he had
Mama's
a great
House.
decade.
2000, yeah.
Big
And then the
Mama's
next
House
movie after
warranted.
Big Mama's House is called What's the
Black-
Worst That Could Happen?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think you know the answer to that.
No,
Movies
Black
don't do
Knight.
as much as what they used to do. That's the worst thing.
Oh, you remind me of what Will Smith said. That I
What Will
wanted
Smith
to
say, Kev? Tell us, Kev.
Two things,
Ooh.
Joshy.
Two?
Number one, he was jealous of The Rock.
That was crazy.
I
And
did not see that coming.
I didn't see that or the Tupac thing.
Before we get to Tupac,
Woo.
hold on vacation.
Okay.
Will said, and this is to people like you,
Hey, I was very close to my face with that finger.
he said, you know, basically Charlamagne asked him a question like, what about you falling off or your movie's not succeeding anymore? And Will said, I am done with the part of my life where I judge my worth and value by material things. The money, the box office numbers, the notoriety, the popularity. He said that was a negative thing in my life. I was not even enjoying the things that I was doing. I've decided a while ago to do things that I have fun and or believe in them. He said when he jumped out of that helicopter, he was like, I'm done with that old version of Will Smith that you guys believe, because he felt he had gotten to a box with his character.
He did.
I mean, his personality, and he could only do certain things that Will Smith does. Wow. And I was like, Doughboy said he fell off too. And there's more people like you than, you know, or more people who think like
I was
you.
drinking the Kool-Aid.
No, I think part of it is like that's how movie stars are judged. They're
Right.
judged by box office success.
Right.
And you paint yourself into a corner if you can only
And then you
do-
don't even get to be.
Yes.
You know, Johnny Depp said something like that was really interesting. He said he had to take a break from acting because he had gone such a long time without saying words of his own.
Really?
Like he had been doing so many movies, like he had just been saying things that other people wrote for him to say, and he was just like that
Wow.
bothered him. So I can definitely relate to Will Smith feeling that way, because it's just like somebody that has essentially everything. That's why it was so wild for me to hear that he was like, he opened up about insecurities about things. Is Will Smith not the most self-aware human being on this
Somehow
planet?
he
He's up
becomes more likable with every
Telling you about
piece of
his faults, it's
content.
like, you're insecure, I love you even more.
When he said, let me quote it because I
Right.
tweeted it. And I said, doggone Will Smith, who you think you're talking to? Me, that's who. He said, you can't achieve your way out of childhood trauma.
That was, say it one more time for the people in the back. I don't think they
He
heard you.
said, matter of fact, let me find the clip. I'm going to just play it for you.
That was.
You know, all these grand. The thing is, you know, when I started, I had, you know, all these grand ambitions of what I wanted to be and what I wanted to do, and you know, I want to be the biggest movie star in the world. So I studied that and I worked out and I got my body crazy and I did, you know, just got my head around doing everything I could do to be the biggest movie star in the world, you know. And then I had a taste of that, and I realized that even though I had achieved all those things, on the inside, I was still that same insecure little boy that was trying to prove something, you know, to you know, girls that had cheated and to my father and all of that, and that you can't achieve your way out of your, you know, childhood wounds and traumas.
You can't fake it.
You can't fake it, right? So then I made the shift, and what I realized is that the only sustainable mission throughout your whole existence is to improve lives. And as soon as I made the shift in my mind from trying to be big and trying to have money and trying to be popular to making sure that I improved lives every step of the way on this earth, then all of a sudden I started experiencing healing.
Hold on, let me see that. Let me see. I can't see, bro. You know what I definitely need to holler at? I need to holler at Warby Parker. You understand why I need to holler at Warby Parker? because Warby Parker has set out to create boutique quality eyewear at a revolutionary price point. Prescription eyewear shouldn't cost you more than a plane ticket or a new iPhone. By circumventing traditional channels and engaging with customers directly through their website and retail stores, Warby Parker is able to provide high-quality, good-looking prescription eyewear at a fraction of the price. I don't know if I told you this. I just sent Kiara to the eye doctor.
Yeah.
Kiara has to get glasses.
Wow.
And so now that she has to get glasses, I'm like, hey, well, you know your daddy's on a pretty important podcast. I'm going to hook you up with my people over at Warby Darby. Now listen
Warby
this.
Parker.
Warby Parker. I had to mess it up. I had to. All right, now listen this. Glasses start at $95, including prescription lenses. Lenses include anti-glare and anti-scratch coatings. Free home try-on program. Order 5 pairs of glasses and try them on for free for 5 days. There's no obligation to buy it, Kevin. Ships free, and it includes a prepaid return shipping label. Head to warbyparker.com/RR to take the quiz and order your free home try-on. Introducing Scout by Warby Parker. Comfortable, breathable, and affordable daily contact lenses. Made from a super moist material that resists drying for lasting hydration and comfort. Order a trial pack that includes 6 days worth of contacts for only $5, and then receive $5 off your next Warby Parker order. Learn more at warbyparker.com/RR. You like that one, man?
That was. I was like, dude, why can't?
It's like you're
it's
giving
literally
it to him.
right in
You're
your
giving
face.
it to him. You're giving it to him.
I don't like.
I don't know what else to do.
Kev looked at it like, is it?
I'm on your face. Why you cannot see it? Do you need glasses?
Ah, boom. That was a
did need
word.
glasses.
That was a word that he said, though.
Man, he talking to.
Because I find
Kev.
myself always trying to outperform myself out of a traumatic childhood.
And who?
And it's like you looking for somebody in the stands and they ain't even there.
Man, so
I've
later
done
in that clip, he said, if you want money, there's never going to be enough money. If it's sex, there's never going to be enough sex. If it's how, he said, if you're not content, you'll never have enough of something.
Bro, just think about the fact that at the time because he also admitted that he was jealous of Tupac and Jada's relationship.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
understand? This is what he said, because I don't want to misquote him, but he said, here she is, you know what I'm saying? Like Tupac's like the biggest rapper and she's dating Fresh Prince. The fact that he had reduced himself in his mind to just being soft Will, the fresh, you know how many days I just thought I was Will Smith looking in the mirror like.
Why'd you
it's-
think that?
No, just I wanted to be like him. I idolized him. But that's the crazy thing is that you don't even understand how people look.
And
You
you
would think this guy has everything.
That's
and it's crazy.
He's literally has the same insecurity.
Bro.
Celebrities, they're just like us.
I don't know if I could deal with if my wife had that type of
Tupac?
past relationship with Tupac.
What if your wife used to be married to Idris Elba?
Just set the divorce meeting up now. Just get me out of here. What?
Let's go back to that childhood trauma
Okay,
thing.
childhood trauma.
We be driven. Michael Jordan is a good example of this. So
Yes.
much of his doggone drive is proof. So at his Hall of Fame speech, it was like, yeah, my 3rd grade coach and this guy in 7th grade. I'm
No,
like,
he brought a guy from the high school team that they picked over him. How big is that chip on your shoulder, Michael?
oh, you gotta let it go.
You got to at some point let it go. You got to let it go because, like he said, it's never gonna be enough. Like,
And that's why, bro, it's so much about like, that's why I'm happy that Will's not caring about box office numbers and stuff. Like even on an episode of Red Table Talk, he was saying, I suffer from this as well. He had bought Jada this big house to prove how much he loved her. And she said, you bought that house to prove to yourself you made it. This is an ego boost to yourself. This is the golden cage. This house wasn't for me. This was for you and your ego. Same thing he said about Willow. He said when Willow was like, okay, she was doing Whip Your Hair Back and Forth tour. And she was like, okay, Daddy, I'm done. And Willow was like, Daddy, you made or he was like, no, you can't be done, baby. You made a promise to Mr. Jay-Z. And he was like, no, you made a promise to Mr. Jay-Z. And she cut her hair bald.
wow,
can't whip
you
back and
made a
forth.
promise to Mr. Jay-Z.
And so Melissa had to help me with that because I've been telling myself on stand-up, like, I'm doing all this so I can have my kids and my kids will never have to want for nothing. And I'll prove to my kids, they buy this house. Melissa was like, they never asked for all that. Your kids have been happy since we had the little 2-bedroom house in Washington. They don't care about that. Like, you want to do stand-up. And that's not wrong.
but just say that.
But just say that. And
right.
own that. Don't put that on them. Like,
Right.
they wouldn't care if you worked at Target. Like, my kids probably would be happier. Like, and I talked to them about it, and they were like, yeah, man, we appreciate, like, being able to go places, and we realize that we are, privileged, and we get to see things a lot of people don't do, or a lot of people don't see, and do things a lot of people don't do. But also, we just want you.
Yeah, so a lot of times they just want to be at the house chilling, playing video games. Now, the crazy thing is that I find myself, I really identified with that statement because like it's never enough for me. Like sometimes like you can talk to me right now and I will still talk to you like I haven't accomplished anything, but then I obviously have, and I don't know that that's healthy. Like I'm still trying to find a way to pivot out of that because it's like I said, it's like you looking in the stands for somebody you're never gonna see.
Yeah, somebody asked me, Kev, when do you ever sit back and reflect on all you've accomplished? And I was like, I never do that. I never do. 2 national tours?
Really?
Absolutely not.
You should.
Every time it's like, all right, this tour, I'm finna suck again. I got to get this stand-up right. What if they don't think I'm funny? I literally approach it every time. I'm genuinely surprised. So this is fun. I'm gonna share an insecure moment with you guys.
Okay.
Will Smith insecure?
Okay.
So Tony Baker is not gonna be on this tour, right? Me and Tony came to this decision last year because after our tour was over, Tony went on a whole nother
by himself,
20
selling out,
selling out, right? Mm-hmm. So Tone was like, I was asking him because it was the plan to because actually initially what the plan was to do Righteous and Ratchet on the road, and then Doboy's daughter moved, and I never told you this, but when we first went on the road last year, I was like, this dude's not going to be able to tour like that.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when my daughter comes,
your daughter's going to be here. Like I knew if you could, I'm sure you could find a babysitter, but I was like, this is going to start getting to him that he now has her and he's still gone. You wouldn't say it at first, but I was like, that's probably not going to work.
That's very dope that you even know me that well to know that because I think that I would have
tried to make it
jumped to do it.
Yes.
But then I probably would have regretted that.
Yes. Yeah, it was the first time you had her, and then the business practical reason is it's hard to book podcasts.
Right.
And the other reason, I saw a comedian of my own volition, not Tone. I'll tell you off.
Okay.
Who made a list that usually is only reserved for super famous people. And I was like, ho, y'all making what type of money, cuz?
Oh, you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know the list, Josh.
Kev.
So competitive Kev.
I still don't even know, but
no.
So anyway, I was like, and then me and Melissa trying to get out of the current house and build a business, all that stuff. So I was like, this is the best thing, right? So I'm talking to Tone, and I even told Tone I'm gonna be able to pay you more this year, right? And then I saw him go on this tour, and I was like, Tone, like, I don't know if you should like come on the road with me. Right. He was like, nah, Kev, nah. I love going on the road with you. And I was like, but how much, we boys. I'm like, how much you getting paid? He was like,
a lot more than what you paid me.
Yeah, it's cool.
Right.
And it wasn't a lot more, but it was more.
Right.
It was a lot more. And,
I had the same sense.
So then, and I was like, but also, how do you do on merch? Because you got me, you to here. Even Jay was selling, and we had 5 people selling merch.
A whole lot of tables.
And he was like, oh, yeah. So he was like, oh, I do way better on merch because I'm the headliner. So then I'm like, well, Tone, like, if you're headlining now with the clubs, like, it's hard to get Tony Baker, as funny as he is, hadn't been headlining yet.
Because which is just psychotic to me.
Because the clubs, it's so much kiss
politics.
the ring.
It's politics.
So much politics. So much kiss the ring. So he had to feature on his own, literally would like fly himself out there to get to feature for these clubs. So they see, then they booked him on his own, right?
Right.
So I'm like, Tone, why would you go back to featuring for me? First of all, off the rip, he's a headlining comedian.
Absolutely. And the fact that you took the position of following him
Don't
showed me
turn
so
this
much.
on me.
Okay.
He's
I have a lot of thoughts on this, but go ahead.
My son's favorite comedian, Pat's his favorite ADD, but shut up about it.
Got you.
So I'm like, Tone, I think you should like go on your own. He was like, nah, Kev, man, we had so much fun. I'm like, we did have so much fun, but, and this is what turned him. I said, you do for your people what I was able to do for you and to here and Doe. Like, I can't take 7 people on tour, right? But you could take your boys on tour, and now they have feature spots, and then they can get headlining dates. And if they get, you know what I'm saying? We're all like, if he
everybody eats.
So Big Irish J hit me like, yo, Kev, I'm trying to get these features on Funny Bone, but they said in order to even get a headline he's trying to headline Funny Bone. You know he's funny enough, right?
Very funny.
He helped shepherd me into comedy. He's like, I got a feature for somebody. So he was like, do you mind if I feature for you at your Funny Bone dates? And I was like, of course. Right. He's like, can you clear with your agent? I'm like, bro, first of all,
it's come on stage.
but he's like, you got to clear with your agent because your agent shut up the show, and it looks like I'm jumping on without your agent's approval.
Gotcha.
And I hit my agent like, Big Irish Jay's featuring for me on all Funny Bones, right? So that's my whole thing, like.
Right.
But I said all that to say, when I saw Tony and he was selling out, I was like, how much of my tickets were sold because Tony was on the show? What if they don't come because Tony's not on there? Because when Tony was sick in Austin, specifically, you talk about refund city. They was like, Tony ain't coming. Email. I don't want you come no more.
Right.
And part of me was like, I'll email you like, you come to the show and you laugh at me. If you don't laugh, I'll give you double your money. Right? But I just let it go. Like, I even, so I wasn't jealous of him. It was more like, it was some insecurity. Like, I know he's funny. I know he's selling tickets.
Right.
Because people were coming with Tony Baker shirts and wristband. Like outside of the people who are MAGA, his fans, they love Tony.
Oh,
they come in shirts
coming in with the portraits for him.
Yeah, you know how many times they were like, all right, go watch out, Kev.
Yeah.
Tony. Which I'm not tripping about. Like, we had some great runs, but the competitive part of me, the competitive unsure person was like, will I have success? Right? So when the first tickets came back and I saw the sales, I was like, okay, we're back.
Okay.
Because
you be questioning stuff.
Because I'm going to give you another example, right? I was talking to here. My first LA show is in Brea. Okay. And Brea is not LA proper. It's closer to the IE, right?
It's out in the sticks.
It's out in the sticks. Right. So Tahir was like, ain't no LA people going out to Brea. And I was like, they're not. Right? But there's a lot of black people out in there because
you got a lot of big fan base in LA.
Yeah, man, when I tell you the first show, that Brea show, that's a fat room, is 570. And there's almost 300 tickets sold for black people in Brea on a Thursday. And most of the LA people were like, can you do a show in LA? The only reason is I can't even possibly go to work and get to Brea on a weekday.
Got it.
Like, and
Yeah. Oh.
When we had our Ontario show, we left at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, it's a mess.
It can take 2.5 hours.
Abysmal.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. Like, I got that show on Thursday. I was like, I can't do nothing. I got to make my way.
Right.
So it was so refreshing to see the ticket sales come. But, bro, we all are those little boys wondering why my parents aren't at. This is where I cried about on a Patreon last week on our live broadcast, but didn't air publicly. Right. We was having a whole conversation on the Patreon.
Got the wet face
and I was crying about
how
how my parents didn't come to games and stuff like that. And it doesn't matter how much success I have, it's never a guarantee.
Exactly.
Ticket buying I never assume people, and I'm gonna just let y'all in on a little secret because we Right Pack fam.
Right.
I have released a lot of merch shirts, and a lot of them, when I have a smash, they fly off the shelves. Right. I moved to a professional merch person, right? And that's why my shirts have been moving faster as far as shipping wise. Right. But as far as we're just gonna be 1,000 wows.
Keep it 1,000 wow for them.
That Dreams Don't Die launch, whew, dreams don't die and they don't sell either. I tell you.
Dreams don't die, but the campaign run do?
I put so much into that campaign. Oh, man. And I ordered so many shirts. And we had Joshi, and we had Mom, we had video. And I was on it out.
And you was voicing over, Dreams don't die. You just never say to them.
That dream died immediately.
Bro, people were like, this is a fire drop, but your debit card.
I love the message, but the shirt.
Debit card. I said no.
You come into the warehouse, the shirt is talking to you. We ain't flying off no shelves. You were wrong.
When I tell you, I was like.
It's humbling.
And they they sold. It wasn't that they weren't selling. It was just, I have had some smash. Soon as I drop, they sell like crazy. This wasn't that. Right. So it's like, I'm scrambling. Like, man, Melissa, bring faith back. I'll bring that back. Right. Faith is something that means hope for. The evidence of sales not seen. Right?
Gotta recoup what
it ain't even, that one ain't coming. It's cool, but it ain't smash. Right. So it's like, am I doing something wrong? And Melissa's like, Kev, it also was just Christmas.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah. Because you always think, nobody likes me.
It's me. Nobody hates me. Nobody hates me.
You know what I'm saying?
No one wants me around. Yeah.
So I think people should know that we are all struggling. We're all, from me and you.
The biggest thing that I think that you're missing is that, you know what I'm saying, what you said was the fact that you were prepared if they would have sold.
Oh,
they didn't. But you was prepared if they would have.
Yeah.
And you know why you're so prepared?
Why?
Because you have been selling stuff online and you've been working with ShipStation. Now, do you sell stuff online? Then you're probably still recovering from that crazy holiday shopping season. Well, I have a way to help you make 2020 a lot less crazy and a lot more successful. It's called ShipStation.
ShipStation?
ShipStation makes managing and shipping out orders a breeze. Now, if you guys are really, really OG, right, Pac? A lot of you were there when me and Kev stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning.
I was just talking about. We talked about this yesterday.
And we was trying to ship shirts out. We stayed live, and everybody was there with us. We sent everything to the wrong addresses. ShipStation is why you no longer see videos like that, because we were ridiculous. Now listen to this. Get this year off to a great start at ShipStation.com. Just use my offer code RR to get a 60-day free trial. That's 2 months free of no hassle, stress-free shipping. Just visit ShipStation.com. Click on the microphone at the top of the page and type in RR. That's ShipStation.com. Enter offer code RR. ShipStation. Make ship happen.
Here's something one of the fans said. I'm a diehard fan, but I didn't like the Dream shirts. And this is a great fan. This is not to shade her. I love her. She's fantastic.
So you know who this person is?
Yeah. She's super. She always comes to our show in Oakland. She's great. Like, she's great. And that's the other thing that I had to ask myself. Like, even of designers that I like, I don't buy everything. You know what I mean? And I don't want to tax any of my audience. And I never want people to support just
out of obligation.
No, like I'm an artist. Like, that merch stuff, I have dreams, I have ideas. You create it, you hope for the best, you prepare for the best, you know?
Right.
And sometimes it doesn't go. Like, and I don't want people to don't feel sorry for me. Like, they still sold.
Right.
I'm just saying they didn't sell to like the level of other stuff has sold, right? So it all this stuff was happening at the same time.
Somebody said it was hard to read.
No,
I'm giving you the reasons
it
why.
It was hard to read,
yeah.
but that was on purpose. Like, I had kind of gotten tired of white on black. And Melissa was like, also, people like reading white on black. People like black shirts. They can wear a lot of stuff with them.
Slimming.
So there's the reason I get white on black is because I personally like white on black, right? So part of me in the process, and that's why the reason I brought this up is, one, just to be honest, and two, to know like everything doesn't click and work for any of us.
Exactly.
Every actor has a bad movie. Every athlete has a bad game. Every creator.
We all have an off night, no matter what we do. I want to address some of the things you said. You said a lot of stuff, and I didn't want to forget everything that you were saying. I think it's something really beautiful and amazing about everything you just said. I think it's so dope, the fact that you went to Tony knowing that he was taking a loss and said, hey, bro, even though it would have benefited you more, that you were selfless enough to say, hey, bro, go do your thing. I think it's super dope, the fact that he was willing to take less to work with his friend, because we be out here in LA, man, people are so shady and crazy for money. So
and by the way, let me pause you.
Huh?
We had a talk on our bonus episode. We kept it 1,000.
Oh yeah.
And I came up the people in the Discord, which is the private chat that you joined from my Patreon. You were here.
Was I here?
Josh wasn't here.
Y'all be just forgetting.
Oh, it went down.
Josh.
It all went down.
You think you got a right pack,
Oh,
man.
man, it was lit.
So my Discord, which is a private group chat I have because of my Patreon, they came up with a name for our fans called the Stage Crew, which is
Fire, right?
with the K. They were like, Kev, like, we got your back.
That's dope.
We're the stage crew. Just like, the actors on stage, we support them, we help, we got their back. Like, we got
So you're
your
making
back.
them like stage crew shirts with
Yes.
on the back?
And I
man.
woke up to the Discord and they were like, let's wait in the chat. They're like, let's wait till Kev wakes up and make sure he's rocking with us. They like, should it be a C or a K? They were voting.
That's what I'm talking. Isn't that
And I
dope?
was like, dude, like, every artist would love a fan base, but the best fan bases or supporters are ones that have their own community.
It's a community.
Beyonce didn't come up with the name Beehive.
right. They
The
did.
Beyonce fans did.
Right. Rihanna
So they were
made
like,
Beehive,
Kev, can
right.
you make some merch for us? And I was like, we right back.
Do you see? But I think you're missing that. I think you're missing the magic in that.
I'm not.
How crazy is that? You thought you had like something that you thought was supposed to be super dope didn't go, and then God moved on your behalf, and they just hit you up like, man, make this.
Make this.
How crazy is that?
And it's
make
a great
this, we'll buy
name.
that.
Throw this out.
Throw
We'll
it
make
away.
Come on, man.
And also, even
That's crazy.
So the thing about Tony, like, it was hard because finding, first of all, adult males getting along and traveling and performing the same craft.
Oh, yeah.
Melissa said this at our Philadelphia show. I'm sorry, our Pittsburgh show, which was one of the best shows. First time ever in Pittsburgh are performing. And we had a green room with a TV, which was very rare on our tour. That actually you could see it and hear it.
bro.
Right, both things. You want to
Melissa
see
said
it and
the
hear
best
it.
part about it is when you went on stage, we all were in the green room laughing at you, at your jokes. You came back to Here Went Up. And mind you, this was like last 10, 15 cities. So we've seen these jokes. When Tahir came back, Tone went up, we all laughed.
Yeah.
And Melissa's like, y'all really sat here for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and watched each other's jokes. No anguish, no anger, no shade. Josh went and took pictures, came back smiling like, Josh comes out to the camera like, man.
Oh, man. Oh, he's killing. He's rocking.
Josh will be the one to tell us whether the crowd is rocking or not.
yeah.
Sometimes
when
I'll
you
be
were
like,
up, Josh will be like,
a little tight,
some
man.
cities
Yeah,
it was
so-
like, not even you. Like,
right.
it's the city overall.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So she was like, so to know that, I'm like, man, like, and I'm not losing to hear,
Right.
but I'm missing you and Tone.
Yeah.
Right? So, but I realized like the whole point of this for me, it's never about getting rich. Right? And that's why when Will said that, I was like, whew, this is great. Because like a rich lifestyle is often a lonely lifestyle.
Say that one more time.
A rich lifestyle is often lonely. You know how many famous people we've been to their house?
Yes.
They got money, cars, house, and they are just dead inside.
Just gone behind the eyes.
I mean, remember we were at such and such's house.
Yes.
They had a daily housekeeper.
Bro.
And we were at this house shooting one day. No one was even in the house. They had a person come and dust at 8 o'clock and at 4 o'clock. And no one was even in the house. A house manager who hung up stuff on, like, it's ludicrous the amount of people that work for you, right? Dead inside.
Bro, that's another reason why I got the dogs too. I love coming home and just seeing my dogs. I just genuinely be happy. I'll be like, oh, Milo. Okay.
I love how happy
It
those
feels
dogs
great.
make you.
It feels
And one more thing about Tone, I realized like he didn't know this, but I was like, Tone, it's never my intention that you tour with me forever.
Right.
It's not. It's that together we build your platform. Now you're
building bosses.
bro. It's about sharing. So that's why Big Irish J, if I can help, because Big Irish J helped me.
Yes.
Big Irish J's
That's-
the one that got me on the Parlor when I was a baby comedian and he was the house MC. Like,
a baby comedian?
Big Irish J was like, come be on my show. The booker will see you. And then when the booker saw me, he was like, oh, you can come back. You can do a full set. Big Irish J opened that door when I was a baby. So why would I not then return the favor? Like, that's the whole point.
Right.
And so when I saw one of the fans, when I announced my tour, and then Tone been posting my tour and stuff, great.
Right.
Somebody in the fans was, the comment section of Tone's post of my tour was like, this is great. I got to see Tony in October. I get to see Kev in February.
And you just spread it all out.
Bro, and if that cost me money, I'd rather lose that money and have helped build up a friend. Because then Tony, it's like, you know what? One of my favorite coaches in NFL history is Bill Walsh. He's coached 49ers. I grew up as a 49ers fan because my family liked it. Right. When I was like 15, we moved to Seattle. And I was like, I want to be my own. You know what I mean? Like, I want to find my own team for my own stuff. So I started rooting for the Seahawks because we moved there. And a true fan because they sucked
Oh,
for
they
a
were
lot of the year.
trash.
Last weekend?
I saw. But they had a lot of injuries, too.
Yeah.
They had a lot of injuries.
Okay, Kev.
They had a lot of injuries, all right?
Keep
But
telling yourself.
Bill Walsh's coaching tree
blew it, but-
was like out of this
And everybody
world.
was dope that came from it.
Bro, Shanahan, and these dudes, at one point he had like 10, 12 coaches. And so that to me is more of an impact than me personally winning 5 championships, although Bill Walsh did win 5. It's my legacy, and like Tone was able to go out, he became headliner, he has his own tour. And then Tony's underlings, they're like, it's best if there's 10 of us touring. And I'm not even getting paid on none of this stuff. It ain't even about that for me, Kevin.
And that's how you build communities and like people that you work with. That's one thing I always loved about like Adam Sandler. Like I would always see the same people in his movie. But hey, I want to say a insecure moment too. I had an insecure moment. So I'm glad you talked about these things. I actually thought that you just wasn't rocking with me on some funny stuff on your tour. I did not know. I was just like,
For this tour?
Yes, I was just like, well, I guess I'm just not on the tour. I didn't know, and I was just like, well, maybe I should ask him. I was just like, well, no, because I was literally like, oh man, Righteous Ratchet, we going on tour next year. It's finna be lit.
I called you and told you.
No, I don't remember that. We never had no conversation.
Yes, when I switched the tour, I called you like, oh yeah, that's fine.
I don't think I understood what you were saying. I must have thought you meant something else. I was just like, man, maybe you really rocking with these jokes.
Really?
Maybe I took my shirt off too much. I didn't know. I was just like, all right, man. Yeah, you kill it out there, man. I was still happy, but I was just like, well, I guess I just ate on this
Even
store.
funnier because I called you and told you.
I don't even remember us ever having that conversation. I was just sitting here like, well, I really thought I did. I was just like, well, maybe I did, so maybe I said something. I was like, well, maybe you should say something. I was like, I might make it worse.
You don't remember me calling and saying, I talked to my agent and this and that, and also the club deals are not as lucrative as the church is.
I have no. I'm not saying we ain't had that conversation, but I walked away with it from a different understanding. Like, yeah. I don't know what he just said.
You're looking at the flyer like,
But no, I'm glad that we were just able, because I wasn't tripping either way. I was just like, well, maybe it's just because I can always look at things brass tacks. Like, well, maybe it just wasn't a good. I don't need no explanation, but. Hey man, I didn't know. I was just like, hey man. That's why I was over here like, I'm gonna write a funny joke one day. Like, I eat you cookies. Just give me a dog. I didn't know what was going on, so I feel great, man. This is funny. Hilarious. I had no idea. I was just like, all right, man. Hell, these jokes. I was literally, but I wasn't tripping though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cause, bro, like you my bro. I'm not never tripping. I'm just like, maybe it just wasn't. I never. Are you sure we had that conversation?
Yes. As a matter of fact,
I think you might have thought about calling me, or maybe you didn't.
I'm gonna tell you. No, I know I called you, and I called you on more than one occasion. You told me you be forgetting stuff. I didn't know it was this bad. I'm gonna tell you off camera what I told you of how I decided. I would never announce a tour and make a big change without telling you.
When you came in, you were like, "Yeah, man, I'm about to take some pictures for my tour." I was just like. I really didn't know. I was just like, oh.
Josh, I talked to you about the part, because Josh has been on tour, and I was like, Josh, I can't afford it this year. You remember this conversation, right?
A little bit.
About it, telling everybody about how much the church is worth compared to the.
I don't think I'm not even joking. I don't
maybe
think we had that conversation. Kevin.
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't.
Absolutely. I'm gonna tell you.
No,
when we cut off this.
I feel like we can talk about it after, but I do feel like Kev touched on the topic. I don't know if it was completely delivered.
It was completely unbeknownst to me.
Maybe when I clarify, you're gonna be like, oh, yeah.
Then there's probably a connector that I'm missing.
I'm a connector for you, but I don't want to do it publicly. And I could own that. I might have been clear, like, hey, you know, come this time.
You stay home.
Nico airplane. You drive car. Like maybe because I often do that. Like remember ADD? Meg used to be so pissed at me because I think faster. I go from thought to action a lot
very quickly, faster.
Right. And a drawback of that, and this is, and I'll own this. Maybe it wasn't clear. I don't always. Melissa gets mad at me even more than Meg did, but Meg, it would literally be her job to fix it. Melissa be like, I'm your wife. You don't ever.
Right.
But I often don't communicate clearly what my whole thought is, and what that means practically. Right. So I will own that when I said it, maybe it wasn't clear that it means.
I was just over here like, I'm trash.
No.
But the good thing about it is, I know that like it still wasn't anything like I just was good, just like it was a business decision. It probably was, and it motivated me to go harder. I'm sitting here thinking, man, these jokes.
Is that why you get all those doggone rooms set up?
No, because it's just like I'm always just trying to improve. Like I'm just always trying to get better, and in my mind, I'm just like get better. I didn't take it in a bad way. Like man, I was just like you got to get better. But I feel better not knowing that was the case.
No, and also I was like this dude daughter. Like when we did
the
tour, I was like shut up about her.
No, the crazy thing about it too is that I actually started thinking about it. Even like as I started thinking, I was like, well, you're not going to be on this tour. I was just like, well, that's actually good. I was like, because I need to be here because I've missed so much,
bro. Like
with my daughter over the last 10 years. So it really
remember
even
when
made
we
sense
had
to
that
go.
10-day and you didn't see her. You were like,
it was tough.
Is she gonna love me still? She gonna love me?
But I think that a lot of times the stuff that we do, because like, and I also like, I'd actually be learning from you a lot with that. It's like sometimes we just got to still go push through it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because if it was left up to me, I just hang out at the house all day and kick it with my kid and my dogs. But sometimes we got to go out and be at work. So, hey man, that's what's up, man. Did we hit our mark?
Yeah, we're good.
Hey,
this is a tight hour.
Good, man. Cool. This was a good episode. I thought we had some good stuff. Are you gonna join me in my quest to be inwardless?
No.
He's gonna let me just go down that road on my own?
This is your personal journey.
Yeah, and I want to stop cussing too. Those two things.
Hold on. Just hold on.
The flip?
Hold on. Please tell me this is not from last week.
What?
When that person was like, Doboy cusses too much.
No, not at all. I wouldn't let one person that I've never met my entire life.
Because you came in strong on verses.
No, but just honestly.
You let that happen countless times.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
Can I have a moment of clarity?
Moment of clarity. MOC, moment of clarity. Moment of clarity.
This is what I struggle with on my day-to-day life. sometimes. Coming into, and I can really say All Def, because All Def is where I believe it happened. I kind of created this personification of like, to me, it's like a character. Obviously, I'm not as stupid as I appear. It's a character.
Great at math.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So I think that because I don't do scripted content so much, people start to really think, oh, he's really dumb. And then when enough people say that, you be like, oh, wait, do y'all really think I'm an idiot? People start saying stuff like, oh, I feel sorry for his daughter. Like, bro, like, is my ignorance that unattractive to where that's what it is? So if it is, let me just do something just to clean it up. Like, I don't have to cuss. And I really thought about it when I was like, I cuss on other places, but I don't cuss here. It's like, why? Like, just stop cussing. Don't, like, you got a daughter that looks up to you. You want to be able to watch your content? Clean your mouth up. So I just want to.
Zay watches this.
Yeah. So
and I told him you can watch anything with ADD or me. Like that was just my deal with him. Right. So he watched that episode, and I was just like, "Whew, bro, what is that cussing, Uncle Doboy?"
It's spicy. Spicy. I just want to, just.
He's also 13, so I'm well aware he's not
cussing,
like.
Though. But I'll be cussing though. I just don't want to seem ignorant.
I
don't want to be ignorant.
I think what part of your greatest skill is the character you play. People aren't aware that it is a character.
Exactly. Just like
they're like, this is really
he dumb.
Like, and like you obviously very intelligent writer. I mean, and also you be not knowing the stuff you don't know.
Right.
And the thing
let me be clear. There is stuff that I am ignorant about.
The thing about you that is not like a lot of people, especially in the internet age, and I feel like this is what makes people feel this way about you. When you don't know something, you're open about it.
Yeah.
People be lying, bro.
Hey, man.
Everybody on the internet is a genius who's aware of everything in the world and is well versed.
All
the truth
knowing.
is people don't know. They're quiet when they don't know. They read and research and then they jump in the conversation like they knew all along. You'd be like, no, I'm not aware of that.
You ignorant fool.
Yeah.
Right.
So W2W9 last week. You know the difference between W2W9? Yeah. And then I would have just kept talking. You were like, difference of 7?
Exactly.
Right? Because you really didn't know.
Right.
There's a joke there. You know what I'm saying? And people would be like, oh, yeah.
Right.
But if I asked another person who didn't know and be like, explain it, they'd be like, you probably explain it.
Go ahead, man.
I see that happen on the internet. And other thing about the internet is people jump in when they're knowledgeable about stuff. Comments, tweets, whatever. When they're not knowledgeable, they don't jump in. So when you're just reading the comments and you don't know anybody, it seems like everyone's always knowledgeable about everything. But it's really just the people who know
who got something on this particular.
Right. If you follow the same people, nobody's knowledgeable
on everything.
You talk about a dumb moment. So we were doing the Love Hour with Emily Nagoski, one of the best Love Hours ever. Okay. She was talking about how so much of our sexuality is formed from 19th century porn, right? So I'm like,
there was 19th century porn?
That's what I said. I'm like, they didn't even have cameras back then, right? So mind you, the 19th century is years with 1800. Remember, the 20th century was 1990. 21st century is 2000 plus.
Yeah, so Doe's birthday.
Right.
Shut up.
So she's talking about, so I'm like, Victorian era? She's like, pre-Victorian era. And I'm like, I don't even know what pre-Victorian era is.
So they
actually
surprised. Just paint the act?
No, it was written.
It was
written down, like literally like Jane Austen and stuff. So she's saying I've heard Jane Austen. I know she's an author, but I don't know exactly what Jane Austen wrote on the top of my head.
Right.
And I know Victorian era, but I don't even really know what that means.
Right.
Does that mean Queen Victoria? Like,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I asked her, and she was like, no, the 18th century. So I was like, so they didn't have cameras. Right?
Yeah, right.
But since we're on camera, we can have that. It's happening live. You can't hide from it. On the internet, people will be like, wait, what? 19th century? Real quick.
Dummy, I didn't know it.
Exactly.
I never even thought
about
that.
And then you be all up in the comments.
And I'm a sensitive dude. You be in them comments too.
Not nearly as bad as you.
Yes.
But I be in there.
Right.
I be in there. But then I be in there sad. I be like, out of here. You got it, dude. So
got it, dude.
So we're all dealing with the same stuff. But just think about that when people be in the. And also, this is another thing. So my son, his friends comment on YouTube videos all the time, right? A lot of funny stuff. They get hearted and stuff like that. And I went back and forth with this Brian Olivares dude about the masterclass. It really got under my skin. When he was like, well, you get the comment. Like, it really got under my skin.
He made a post about it.
I made a whole
Said his
video.
whole at it with the whole name and everything.
So in the Discord, on my private Discord group chat with me, with my Patreon supporters, they were like, somebody send it to him. He was like, oh, this is great. Like, I'm a big fan of Kev.
What?
And I was like, you literally, and I had that screenshot in my phone for like 4 weeks.
So it had upset you for a month plus.
I talked to Melissa about it. Like, this guy don't think, like I was.
Who does he think he is? Who am I?
So
You were just mad about it.
right? So I made the video and then I did all that. Talk trash to him on the way to Tokyo. And I'm like, how's your dead work, Brian? Just to come out, he was like, he mentioned my name. And I'm like,
Bruh, you can.
so that in combination with my son making comments on videos and Zay's YouTube page, you'll never know it was him. He has a name unassociated
Fake
with name
picture.
and fake picture. He's very sarcastic. Both of my kids are. Don't know where they get that from. And very funny online, right? Very clever. So people comment on his things. And I was like, you could literally be arguing with a child.
A whole child.
And be
that could-
upset,
Bro.
especially on ADD content.
Absolutely.
You literally can, and more than likely, are arguing with someone you
Who
never
is
would.
drinking out of a drink box. A juicy juice.
You are arguing with someone who was in 8th period at 12 o'clock. I'm 36 years, but because it's a comment, you assume everybody's a well-educated adult. It could literally be a child. Literally, I use this example a lot because it really helps me. This person said something to Melissa, and I won't go into the whole story because it's not important.
Got it.
Melissa was apologetic and was like, I'm sorry, I'm really working on this. And the girl was like, girl, I'm PMSing. I'm mad at everybody. And I was like, we literally be letting this
And
stuff
we
get
will
to
let
us.
it affect our
We
whole
have
day.
no idea who this person is, how old they are, what frame of mind they're in, all of that stuff, and we really let it get to us. You know what I mean? People have tweeted at celebrities that they love a joke and got pissed, got blocked, and then cry.
Oh, absolutely.
Be like, man, what? This dude,
I
Carmelo
love this
Anthony.
dude called the Carmelo Anthony, the people that was messing with KD.
Yeah. Wait, Kevin
Kevin
Durant.
Durant, yeah.
Oh,
He started a burner account to respond.
not bad.
That lets you. But you know what I really think it is? I just feel like we're all learning.
Okay, I've thought
as
about
we
starting a
go.
burner account.
Huh?
I've thought about starting one.
What?
Yes.
Wait. Pre or post KD?
Pre.
Really?
Oh, he helped me not to do it.
Wait.
Really?
I-
He was gonna make a burner. Was you gonna cuss on it?
Just not cuss.
You gotta cuss on the burner account. Come on.
I wanted to fire at
should.
some. Nah.
Why not?
I'm gonna tell you why.
This is fun.
Because you only have. Doughboy taught me this. Some of the best advice he's ever given me. Right? He didn't take it himself, but good advice
But
nonetheless.
we're working on that.
Doughboy said you have a certain amount of a lot of energy in a day. You can spend it however you choose. You can choose working out, eating wrong, feeding into positive vibes or negative vibes. All we have to do, we don't have to work harder. All we have to do is focus the energy we have into the right things. Right? You said this in your drunken days.
Yeah,
You're
I gotta
see
do
you
this.
later. Like literally, you were completely like you were never walking around drunk.
Right,
This is
right.
when you before
Yeah,
you
yeah.
even went to rehab.
When I was
you were like, man, I'm gonna get on there. Then you were like, Hennessy. And I was like, dude, you are so right.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I decided that we talked about this, I think, on the bonus episode. When I see a negative comment, there's always more positive than negative.
Always.
I will respond to positivity only and more to positivity than negativity. So a comment really gets under my skin. I'll respond to 3 positive interactions. And I feed nothing negative. I won't give it any attention because I'm training my mind to focus on positivity. Because when I think about the dude that we talked about in the bonus episode and that comment, I realized like I could feed but I'm chasing a path of negativity.
Come on, man.
And at the best version of that, it's more negativity. And I don't want to be like Heat. I use that example. Robert De Niro in Heat. I used it on the bonus episode. We're talking about it a lot because it was a really good episode.
Yeah, bonus episodes sound like a great time.
Yeah. Robert De Niro, he was getting away with he's getting away with the crime. But all he had to do was let a slight go. Let a slight go.
One thing that wouldn't have affected his life in the least.
And he couldn't let it go. And I don't want to be chasing negativity. There's too many people who love me, rock with me, and I don't want to spend any time going to negative people. Like,
It's not
especially,
worth it.
It's just not worth it.
And what do you get from it?
Nothing.
You're right.
It
Forget
never
a
makes
burner
me
account.
happier.
It doesn't make you feel better.
It makes me madder. Then I seek out more and more negativity. Why? When there's people who love me.
Seek out the comments of people telling you, hey, start that Kev crew stuff and we're going to be the crew. I forgot the name. Stage crew.
And
That's
also
what you
the other
need
thing
to-
about the
you know
stage
what I
crew
mean?
that I forgot, the 95 was the name for my Periscope. I love it. It makes a lot of sense. But it was always hard to explain. Well, the 95, my wife said this and
Right.
that. Like, it was just kind of hard.
Stage crew, you know exactly what it is.
Well, the people asked for it.
Right.
They created
For
it.
them, by them.
For them, by them. I can come up with a shirt design.
Right.
And bro, people were paid money to have early access to our videos, to be in a chat, to watch these things live. You know, Wi-Fi's messing up. Why give any energy to people who have it? Guarantee you, People who are commenting negatively never put no money up.
Come on.
So why spend any of your limited amount of time and energy on that negativity?
And I've been doing that lately too. I've been responding to positive comments, and it just makes me feel better about myself. I like feeling good, bro. I like feeling good. I feel really good today. This was a really good episode. Good episode, Josh. I have been Doboy.
It didn't make sound. There we go.
I have been Doboy.
I've been Kevon Predricks.
We are out of here. We'll see you guys next week.
Bonus episode, people. We'll see you on Thursday, and we'll hang out for a little bit here.
Peace.